I'm gonna go a little easy today because I'm not feeling 100%. Waiting for the people to show up. So for any of you guys who want to watch this after it goes up, when it's not live anymore, I'm going to be reading the first 2 chapters of Pure Animal. I know you've probably heard it in one of my videos that I probably deleted. But yeah, these are going to be the first 2. I have the 3rd one already up. That's in the previous live stream. I know it's all sorts of wacky. I'm learning. The rest just might be normal videos that I put up, just so like I don't have to deal with the whole live stream and it feeling a little awkward. But yeah, so this will actually include this kind of description thing. I don't know what it's called. It's the some info to let you know about the time and how I set that up, and then we'll get right into the story. So as I started to write this, I wanted to give the characters their own sense of time. I didn't really get that creative. I literally just went, okay, so 1 wolf year is 7 hours, and 1 sun is 1 day. And then I just multiplied for every year, I multiplied it by 7, technically. You know, like, oh, there's 365 days in a year. I'm just going to multiply that by 7 to get the base. Oh, wait. I just realized I messed the timing up. I might have to go back through or something. So there's 2,555 suns in 1 wolf year. And then like I do 2,555 times 3 and get, for that would be for 3 years and for 7 years. I don't know, I just reread this for like the 50th time and realized, hold up. I calculated that wrong. Whoops. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a rough draft. Okay. Chapter 1. A white, blue, and black pup squirmed. She had no idea what was going on. I can't see! Help! She started to whine. What was that? She started to whine more. Her stomach rumbled. She sniffed, trying to find some food. The delicious smell of milk entered her nose. She followed it to the source and started to suckle. This must be my mommy. She has food. I'm gonna stay right here. She felt something try to push her away. Indignant, she pushed back harder. No, I'm staying. You have to move. 3 more times did she feel this. She didn't understand. What were all these bodies? Eventually, she just gave up, trying to move them, and fell back asleep. She woke up to find that the squirming had stopped. They were also curled up against her mom. These must be my siblings. I guess I can deal with them. Doesn't mean I have to like them. She sighed and went back to sleep. 147 suns later. The white, blue, and black pup wrestled with one of her brothers. She nipped at his ears. He flipped her over and growled. She pushed him off of herself. Just then her mom barked. All the pups rushed over to her. She looked down at the pups, thinking. Yes, Mommy? The white pup yipped. Today is the day you get your names. All the pups bounced. They were so excited. It was about time. They were so done just being called pups. The mom looked down at the white pup first. You will be called Freezing Rain, because just like frozen rain, your heart is soft, but on the outside you are very fierce. 210 suns later. Freezing Rain ran over to the dead elk. Yum! Food! She had been waiting very anxiously for her first taste of real food. It had only been about 14 suns since her mom had weaned Freezing Rain and her siblings off of milk. So, like, a week, I think. Yeah. So, basically, it's been about a week. Since then, she was very excited to try what the hunting party brought. Everybody else had eaten, so now it was her turn. Freezing Rain sniffed the elk. She felt her mouth start to water. Oh, this smells so good. I can't wait to try it. She plunged her nose into the elk. Looking up, she saw Warm Sun and Moonshadow walk over to eat as well. Hi, guys, Freezing Rain yipped. How are you liking the elk? Both Warm Sun and Moonshadow were the same age as Freezing Rain, 360 suns old. They had also just been weaned off their mother's milk, so this was their first taste of meat. Warm Sun gave Freezing Rain a big smile. It's delicious. How are you liking it? Her smile grew wider. It's better than anything I have ever tasted. Warm Sun laughed. All you have ever tasted is your mother's milk, silly. Well, you knew what I meant. I can't believe this is what all the other wolves have been eating. Could there possibly be anything better? Warm Sun shook her head. Definitely not. There is no way anything can taste better than elk meat. They both plunged their muzzles back into the elk. 224 suns later. The pack had moved so much. Freezing Rain, however, was used to this. She had also sprouted a good few inches from head to paw and from head to tail. She was the middle child in height. She wasn't the smallest, but she wasn't the biggest either. She bounced around her siblings, daring them to attack her. Treeleaf finally succumbed to the teasing of his sister and jumped on her. Freezing Rain growled playfully. Rolling on her back, she felt the cold snow sticking to her fur. She batted at Treeleaf's belly. He growled back, then chapped her by putting one paw gently on her neck. Freezing Rain feigned death. Okay, okay, you win, she barked. Laughing, Treeleaf let her get up. Freezing Rain's fur was covered in snow. She shook it, getting it all over Treeleaf. Ha! Got you! She howled. Treeleaf shook his head. She then pounced on him, pinning him to the ground. How do you like it? Freezing Rain half whispered, half yipped in his ear. Treeleaf growled, batting at her. Suddenly a bark snapped both of their heads up. It was their mother. Get over here! There is no time for rough denning. Another side note. Rough denning is like rough housing, except Wolf's house is its den. So, yeah, that's where I got it. Freezing Rain got off of Treeleaf. I win, she whispered. I would call it a tie. Come on, we need to catch up with the rest of the pack. They both ran over to where their mom was. She turned and looked at them. Immediately, both Freezing Rain and Treeleaf lowered their eyes, and their tails lowered. Freezing Rain looked up and whimpered, I'm sorry, Mama. We just wanted to have some fun. You know that when the pack is moving, there is no time for fun. You risk losing the pack because you are so absorbed in who can pin who first. Now come, I have a feeling we will be settling somewhere for the night. A few hours passed. Freezing Rain's mom was right. The pack had settled down for the night. She sighed. She still felt bad about upsetting her mom. I'm just a pup. It's natural for me to want to wrestle with my siblings. She shrugged. It's life. Hopefully the pack stays here a while. Freezing Rain thought that they might. It's a nice small clearing surrounded by pines. As was a lot of clearings. Freezing Rain really couldn't tell why the pack kept moving. There was no reason for it. Each place they went to was perfect. I have to lay these thoughts to rest. It really shouldn't matter tonight. I need my sleep. Freezing Rain sighed and closed her eyes. She opened her eyes. The rest of the pack was up and about. She didn't see any sign of the pack moving. She guessed that they would be staying there, which made her extremely happy. She hated moving. It left her no time to have fun and was very boring. Freezing Rain hated walking. She would much rather be running, feeling the wind hit her face, the ground flying beneath her paws. Maybe I should ask if I could join the hunting party. She took a deep breath, got up, and went to ask one of the wolves in the hunting party if she could join. Hey, Flowing River, Freezing Rain greeted. So far, so good. Flowing River wagged her tail in response. Hey there, Freezing Rain. I was just wondering if I could join the hunting party. Flowing, Flowing River chuckled. You sure? Aren't you a little young? I'm 584 sons old. I'm sorry. You you have to be at least 1,278 sons old to apprentice as a hunter. Oh, come on! I'm close! Flowing River shook her head. 500 sons isn't close. How about this? I will let you watch every now and then, but you can't join, nor come with us every time. Also, there's a lot of running involved. Are you sure you're up for it? Freezing Rain nodded vigorously. She knew she was. Okay, I want to see you in action. Follow me. Flowing River trotted for a little bit, Freezing Rain in tow. Flowing River stopped when they were a good distance away from camp. She looked over at Freezing Rain. I want you to run back to camp. I'll be waiting for you there. She nodded. Flowing River started running very quickly back to camp. Freezing Rain started to follow, but eventually she got left behind. Fear gripped her chest. Oh no, I can't be lost. Why would she do this to me? She started to pant. Hard. Her heart was racing. While she was panting, she felt something odd. Trying to figure out what it was, she started to follow it, walking at first, then running. Freezing Rain looked around her, then down at the ground. She noticed some paw prints in the snow. Oh my gods. Am I following her scent? She started going faster and faster, pushing herself as hard as she could. Eventually, she broke through the trees and found her pack. Flowing River trotted up to her. She was surprised that she didn't have to go back and fetch Freezing Rain. Most pups just stayed where they were and started to whine when she took off running. Freezing Rain, however, made it back all by herself. I see that you were able to make it back. She nodded, her tail wagging very quickly. Guess what? I followed your scent. I didn't know what I was smelling at first, but then I looked down and saw paw prints in the snow and connected them. Freezing Rain rattled off without taking a breath. Flowing River laughed. Whoa there. Slow down. You found my scent? Yeah, isn't that cool? Flowing River shook her head. Freezing Rain is going to be just fine. She is very smart. I need chapstick. Screw it. Look for it later. My bed is a mess. 94 suns later. Freezing Rain jumped up. Today was the day that Flowing River would teach her how to hunt. Every now and then she would take her out into the forest further and further away from the pack, and expect her to find her own way back. She also pushed Freezing Rain to go quicker. Each day she was sore but ready to get back at it. Freezing Rain ran over to Flowing River. You ready to teach me how to hunt? Freezing Rain yapped happily. Flowing River nodded. You do know that you won't actually be hunting, right? What do you mean? Freezing Rain's tail dropped. You pups get to just watch us at first. Then, after a while, once we think you know your role in the hunt, you can help us and join the party. Oh. Flowing River noticed her sadness. Perk up. It's not that bad. It's all about practice. First, you observe. Hunting is very dangerous. Multiple wolves have gotten injured, even killed, while hunting. It's best that you just watch. Wouldn't want you getting hurt, okay? Freezing Rain nodded. Flowing River noticed this and barked happily. Okay then, let's go! Flowing River started walking over to the hunting party. Hey, Firmgrass, is it alright if Freezing Rain joins us as an apprentice? Firmgrass looked over at her. Have you tested her? Flowing River nodded. When she was a pup, she very quickly learned how to follow scents, and I've been helping her to get faster ever since then. Firmgrass gave Freezing Rain one more look over. Okay, I guess we can give her a shot. Freezing Rain beamed. She never expected this. Firmgrass looked over at the rest of the hunting party. Let's go, group. We have food to get. They all nodded and started to follow Firmgrass. Flowing River looked over at Freezing Rain. Now this is when you put your nose to the ground and start sniffing for any sign of prey. She nodded and put her nose down to the ground. Days had passed with no sign of prey. At this point, Freezer knew that the pack would be following their scent, knowing that the hunting party wouldn't want to have to drag the elk or whatever they found all the way back. Suddenly, some wolf yowled, "I got a scent!" Firmgrass looked over and barked, "Lead the way, Silent Falls." Freezer smiled. "The chase is on." The hunting party stood on a hill. The gang of elk was at least 100 wolves' lengths away. Flowing River glanced over at Freezer. "This is where you stay and watch. Let us do the work. You are here just to watch. You got that?" Freezer nodded. Just then, Firmgrass started to run towards the elk. The rest of the party followed suit. Flowing River and the rest of the females started running towards the side of the gang, making sure none of the stronger elk tried to interfere with the kill. The males started trying to make one of the younger or sicker ones break rank. When the hunting party started to get out of sight, Freezer started to run after them. As she ran after the party, she saw an elk break rank. The female started to herd the rest of the gang away from the one that broke rank. Freezer sniffed behind her. The rest of the pack was almost there. They better hurry and make the kill. Firmgrass jumped up and bit the nose of the older elk. Another wolf bit at its hind, while another bit at its throat. They continued to do this until it fell. Freezer gasped at how quickly they took it down. "Eventually, that'll be me." 1,277 suns later. Freezer woke up to the call of the hunting party. She had finished her apprenticeship with Flowing River, just as she had decided to stay with the elders. Freezer ran over to the leader, Silent Falls. "Morning," Freezer yapped. "Morning, Freezer," Silent Falls replied. "You ready?" Freezer nodded. This would be her first time going hunting, and she was really excited. Her whole life led up to this moment. She flexed her now fully grown legs. As soon as every wolf was gathered, Silent Falls howled and they were off, noses to the ground, sniffing for any sign of prey. The ground was nice and soft with green grass. The smell of pines dominated the air. Freezer looked at the gang of elk. She knew what she had to do. With Silent Falls' command, she started running after the elk, the ground passing beneath her paws, the wind whipping her in the face. She got engulfed in the thrill of the hunt. Then she stopped feeling the ground. Her wings had opened. Chapter 2. Stepping out into the light, two bright red ruby eyes looked around the mysterious animal. Seeing that no one was around, the mysterious animal stepped out into the light and stretched its feathered wings as high as they could go. "Oh, that felt good," she sighed. Pumping them hard and slow, she gradually got up into the air, cruising over the land she knew, the tall pines reaching up into the sky. Birds squawked and moved out of her way when she flew by. The wolf didn't have to worry about being spotted. No one ever looked up. She glided for a while, scouting for any wolves that were trespassing on her territory. When she was satisfied that there weren't any intruders, she landed. The sun was in the middle of the sky by the time she got home, the heat beating down on her. She felt the soft grass brush the bottom of her paws when she landed. Time for a midday nap, if you ask me. She chuckled to herself. She took a deep breath. The sweet, sappy pine smell dominated all others. She followed the ritual of circling before she lay down. The moment her eyes closed, a horrible memory made its presence known. Her pack. The roughest, toughest pack in the forest. But just because they were really strong didn't mean they weren't caring. Her mother was a mom to 5 spastic pups. Quintuplets, you would say. Freezer would wrestle with her 3 brothers, Wet Sky, Tree Leaf, and Barkstream, as much as any pup. Her one sister, River Rock, was more laid back than the boys. Life was good until when she reached 2,555 suns. Freak! Monster! That's what her pack said when they saw her open her wings for the first time. She was very hurt. She didn't know that wolves weren't supposed to have wings. She ran to her family, who were coiled in disgust. "Mama, what happened to me? Why do I have wings?" she cried. Her mother shook her head. "I don't know, but you can't stay here. The pack won't take you seriously anymore." Freezing Rain felt her heart break into a million pieces. She ran as far as she could on her legs. Eventually, she collapsed into a pile and sobbed her broken heart out. Why me? Why did I have to be the freak of the family? She asked herself between sobs. A little while later, she decided that this was her life, and she just has to deal with it. A few nights later, while out in the woods, she practiced her flying. Jumping and flapping, she tried to get an arch. Freezer Rain tried to do that more and more, getting a little higher every time. She decided that this was the first step in flying. She felt hopeless. If she couldn't fly, how would she escape her pack? She had to learn how to fly, and since no one could teach her, she knew nature was her mentor. What animals have wings? She narrowed her eyebrows, trying to bring back memories of the animals that her pack had brought back for food. Birds! Birds have wings! She looked around for some birds. Spotting some, she looked at them as teachers, not food. Focusing on their wings, she saw them make circles. Not good circles, but their wings made like a slide that went down, straight at the bottom, made a slide that went up, and then straight at the top. And the cycle continued. And like this is a demonstration. At least I'm pretty sure that's what it was when I looked it up. She decided to try what the birds were doing, though she knew that she was weak. Freezing Rain needed a hill or a mountain. She started looking for a really big hill. There's a hill. Finally, I made it to the top. Looking over the edge, her stomach did a flip-flop. Why? Why this high up? Taking a deep breath, she closed her eyes, stretched out her wings, and walked off the edge. She fell. Her heart started pounding in her chest. Adrenaline coursed through her body. Suddenly, she remembered how the birds flew. Doing that same motion, she started to fly. Oh, praise the gods! She opened her eyes. I'm flying! Slowly, she descended. Now what do I do with my wings? Looking around her, she saw a bird land and then fold its wings to its side. Huh? How? She tried to fold her wings like the bird, so she tried to fold it up like this. To my sides. She looked at her sides. Oh! She figured out that they can't be up and down. They have to be on their sides. So, horizontal, not vertical. That night she slept soundly, her mind replaying over and over how she learned to fly and how to close her wings, making it instinctual on how to fly. Never again will she have any trouble. Freezer Rain woke up. It's been about 5,110 suns since she left the pack, and she felt good about her decision. She hated them for being so judgmental. It's not like it was cancerous or anything, she thought to herself. I could have helped them hunt once I learned how to fly, or see if there are any other wolves around. 913 suns ago, her pack stopped calling for her. The last thing she heard was, "Give it up, warm sun. She won't come back." The voice of her best friend, Moonshadow. Every night, his voice plays in her head, saying those exact words. She would never do something like that. I'm glad she didn't join in with making fun of me. That would have been awful. Though, living on my own is fun. I don't have to do anything if I don't want to. I can hunt whenever and wherever I want. I should think about getting a pack just as well, though. Nonetheless, I shouldn't think about this too much. I don't need a pack right this instance, right? The sweet smell of elk brought her back to reality. I just realized I did not do this right. Revisions. Let's just pretend this part isn't there. Give me a second. Freezing Rain's ear perked up when she heard twigs snapping. It's been forever since any wolf stalked her. She lifted her nose to the air and sniffed. She was instantly suspicious. She unsheathed her claws, preparing to safeguard her territory. She kept sniffing, trying to figure out what type of animal it was. It wasn't an animal she knew. That was normal for her. That wasn't normal for her. Most animals she knew. Then it came into full view. A shiny brown wolf coat. What's... How come I don't know its scent? Or recognize it, at least. She growled to herself. This is my territory, she growled. No matter how pretty you are. I don't want to hurt you, the wolf replied in a deep, gravelly voice. I smelled another wolf scent, so I followed it. Why? Because I feel that you're just like me. What do you mean, just like me? Freezing questioned after a while. You have wings, the mysterious wolf elaborated. Uh, no, I don't have wings. What makes you think this? Well, you must. Normal wolves are in a pack, not on their own. Well, there can be lone wolves. Have you ever heard of that? Freezer encountered. The wolf stood there stumped. But your scent. What about it? She growled. It goes up. The wolf challenged when he saw the fear in her eyes. Fine, she admitted. You caught me. I have wings. But how can you have wings? My pack didn't have any. Freezerain looked hard at the wolf that said he had wings. She couldn't find any sign of there being wings. If you have wings, show them, and tell me your name. Well, I don't know if you're lying or not, so I don't know if I should. And my name is Blowing Wind. What's your name? Fine, I'll open mine too on the count of 3. And my name is Freezing Rain. 1, 2, 3. 2 pairs of wings opened at the exact same time. Blowing Wind's wings were a beautiful tan that reached 1 head's length above him and 2 wolves' lengths to his side. Whoa! They both howled. Freezing Rain's was the color of rain, a brilliant blue that stretched just as high and wide as Blowing Wind's. Nice wings! They complimented each other. Wow, Freezing Rain thought to herself. I didn't know that flying wolves could have such beautiful wings. Okay, so Blowing Wind, how did you get your wings? I got my wings when some Noafers captured me and tried to mix me with a bird when I was younger. They thought they did something wrong, so they brought me back to the forest. I just got my wings 10,220 suns ago. What about you? How did you get your wings? Oh, I've had mine since birth, I'm pretty sure. When I finally opened them, my entire pack went hysterical. Blowing Wind started to laugh, a sound that was low and friendly at the same time. Wow, wow, I feel sorry for you. It must have been horrible having everybody laugh at you. That's how it was for me when every wolf in my newfound pack saw my wings. Some were amazed, others not so much. Maybe we can be friends, Freezer mentioned to Blowing Wind, seeing as they were becoming more open. Yeah, maybe, he hesitated. I don't see why not. 2,525 suns later. She decided that it was time for Blowing Wind to learn how to fly. She couldn't keep getting the food. It was tiring, and he needed to commit some. Looking around, she saw some birds flying by. This would be a great time to teach him how to move his wings. They can't just be flapped up and down. They have to go in an arch. Notice how the birds fly. Blowing Wind looked up and saw some birds. But they look like they are flapping up and down, he stated. Look harder. Focus on the wings. Blowing Wind squinted his eyes and focused more intently on the wings. That's when he saw the way they moved. Back, curved down, straight, curved up. Back, curved down, straight, curved up. That same process kept repeating. Freezing Rain saw him look back at her, then at the birds. What? How did you notice that? He asked her. I noticed because I needed to. If I didn't want my pack to find me, I needed a fast mode of transportation. Can't you run? Yes, but not fast enough. And running will help me keep my scent hidden if I'm out hunting. If I fly, my scent is basically hidden. Boingwin looked thoughtful as she said that. Carefully, he tried to rise. Mm, I don't know what that was. It was supposed to be a groan. Boingwin lets out a deep breath. Freezegrain looks over at him to see him trying his hardest to rise. I shouldn't laugh. I'm dying now. Freezegrain burst out laughing. What? Boingwin's husky voice strained. Just stop. Like now, she replied, still giggling like a female pup. You can't get very high right now. You haven't practiced for as long as I have. Just do a little bit. Boingwin looks over and lands. Wait, what? How long have you practiced? Honestly, I don't know how long I had to practice before I saw some birds fly by. Oh, Boingwin replies, looking down in defeat. Freezegrain noticed this. Oh, perk up. I practiced for months, she replies in an upbeat tone. Boingwin still looked down. Freezegrain tilted her head, trying to figure out why he was so upset. Why are you upset? She asked gently. I'm upset because I can't fly. That means I can't follow you if you go hunting, and your scent will be on me, so your pack will find me and most likely find you, he replied remorsefully. So those are the first two chapters. I hope you liked them, and I hope you didn't mind me dying every now and again. Because yes, I am slowly dying. Bye.